Hello, Joburgers. Justin here. Welcome back. Nice, cold, rainy day in Joburg. Winter's definitely on its way. So today we're going to be talking about buying a house or buying in a complex. Yeah. So I've recently, over the last few months, I've had a couple of people ask me what I think and which is the best option. So yeah, you might be a first-time buyer, you might be looking at downscaling, or you might have a few $1,000,000 burning a hole in your pocket and just trying to decide which is going to be better, a house or a complex. So yeah, we're just going to have a quick discussion around those, and let's see if there's a clear winner. Okay, so to kick off, let's start with a house. House, your normal freehold, freestanding house. Very simply, the house is yours, the property is yours. You're pretty much free to do whatever you want. Yeah, you've got that independence, but all the costs are on your shoulders. So all the maintenance, all the security, the garden, rates and taxes, water, electricity, everything. It all falls on you. You're allowed to build on, of course. You can get plans, build on bedrooms, bathrooms, whatever you want. Yeah, so just check that you need plans, and you might need an architect or an engineer involvement, depending on how far you want to go with your renovations. But yeah, you've got the freedom and independence. The big thing about, big positive about owning a freehold house is that you can control your own costs. So, yeah, as I say, if you want to put in a borehole or solar prepaid, you can bring your energy costs down. And yeah, so it could be a good way to live because you can control your own costs. So, but houses are generally more expensive to start. No, look, houses start at about 800,000 up to the many millions. Your average house price in South Africa at the moment is about R1,000,000. Yeah, so generally more expensive. But yeah, for about $1,000,000, 1.5 up to 2 million. It's a big price range, but you can get yourself a fabulous house if you shop around correctly. And yeah, can be a very, very good option. Okay, so onto complexes or sectional title. Okay, so sectional title, very, very, very common in South Africa. All right, your sectional title means essentially that you own your unit or you own your house, and then you own a share of the property, the communal property that's where your units are situated. So the common grounds, the parking area, the lawns, the gardens, the pool, all that sort of thing. You own a share of all of that. But a big thing about complexes is rules and levies. Okay, so you pay a levy every month, and that money goes to the body corporate, and then they use that money to maintain the complex, security, all that kind of thing. But then sometimes might need a major upgrade where you might be requested to pay a special levy. So if there's a big upgrade and it's maybe, it's a good few $100,000 or, it's a high price, they split that cost over all the owners that live in that complex, and then you can pay it off or you can pay it in a lump sum. So yeah, you pay that extra on top of your levies. But then, yeah, you've got the peace of mind of security, the communal living, the facilities. Yeah, so in my previous video about buying in a complex, I'll put the link up here. Please check that out. It's very, very important. So some complexes are very badly run. So there's a lot of questions that you need to ask, and check the financials and check the management of that complex, because you don't want to land up burning your fingers. Also, things like pet friendly, how many pets, that kind of thing. It's very, very important when you're living in a complex. Yeah, so complexes start at about $500,000, up to about 1.5 is where the bulk of the units are. Yeah, they can be fantastic family homes, or they could be great investment rentals. It just depends on what you're looking for. But another downside of complexes is that you can't do whatever you want. You can't just renovate and build on. As I mentioned, the rules are very, very important. So please check the rules before you want to do any renovations. You can generally do pretty much whatever you want inside within reason, but outside, because of the look of the complex and the value, the aesthetics, that kind of thing, you can't just do whatever you want. All right, so that brings us on to estates. Estates are these big gated, walled communities, very similar to a complex, but you own the land that your house is on, and you own the house that you bought. You can renovate, but sometimes there are limitations. So there again, you've got to check with the homeowners association on what is allowed and what isn't allowed, also the color schemes and that kind of thing. Your levies tend to be a lot higher in these estates because of the higher value of the properties and higher levels of security. There might be special amenities, there might be sports facilities, tennis courts, gym, golf course are very popular. So those levies tend to be a bit higher in these fancy estates. But estates also vary. You can get estates. It depends on how the property has been zoned and bought and managed. So, estates start normally at around about 1.5, 2 million, all the way up to, as I say, the many millions. So living in an estate can offer you the best of both worlds. So you've got the full ownership and title of the house and the land. And then plus you've got the additional benefits of the security. But as I say, you've got the additional payments on levies. And so there can be an awesome lifestyle if you are in that market. So if you look at house and complex and estates, which is the best one? It just depends on what you're looking for. There's no clear winner. Buying a property is it's an emotional decision. If you're happy living in a complex, if you're happy living in a house and you're willing to do all the costs and maintenance, it just depends on what makes you happy, what makes you feel comfortable. And that's really what it boils down to. So, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you the next time. Hope the weather improves, and have a great weekend. Cheers.